Cultaholic are not your enemy. Cultaholic announced during the week that they're letting go 7 editors from their ranks on the back of economic downturn, and then all hell broke loose on the wrestling internets. Welcome to WrestleWolf. I'm your host, Damian Gibson. If you don't know what we do here, we go through wrestling social media so you don't have to. So yeah, as I said, Cultaholic, a long-time wrestling YouTube channel, announced on Twitter that they were letting go 7 of their editors. So, you know, this is something that's happening more across numerous industries, but especially in the creative industries. And I would have thought that this statement there would have been some outpouring of sympathy for the people who are losing their jobs. And, you know, maybe a little bit of discourse about like, oh man, it seems like the changes in the algorithm that have been made by YouTube are affecting everybody, even bigger creators like Cultaholic. All I saw was other YouTubers talking about the downfall of Cultaholic. They have had a couple of founding members leave, and Adam Pacitti and Jack the Jobber, to go on and do other things. But I'm a fan of Cultaholic. I always have been. You know, I have stopped watching a little bit myself, not for any particular reason other than there is slightly more WWE content than there is AEW content, and I don't watch WWE. Then immediately they had to come out and say, we want to make it very clear that we will not be using AI to edit our videos following the closure of our dedicated video editing team. The remaining team at Cultaholic, which includes writers, editors, and presenters, will continue to produce and edit the content that you see across various platforms. When they first started, I'm pretty sure Sam, who's one of the founding members, was doing most of that work anyway. And if you're in this game, you know, comms, content, you get to the point where you learn how to do everything because you have to. Like, even if you're just doing stuff for yourself outside of your job, which some of these guys I'm sure do, whether it's Twitch streaming or you want to make videos about something that's got nothing to do with wrestling, you got to learn how to do all of this stuff. And all I've seen for the last 7 days is people laying the boots into this channel that all they do, and even in comparison to some other English wrestling YouTube sites, for the most part, these guys, not even for the most part, I would say almost always very objective in the way that they handle news. People are talking about them being news aggregators. I don't know what else they're meant to do. Also, like every other YouTube channel on earth does that, except for like Sean Ross Sapp and Dave Meltzer. You know, Brian Alvarez isn't doing journalism. He might call a few people but he's not doing what Dave does. He doesn't do what Sean Ross Sapp does. Besides that, there's very few other wrestling journalists who are actually asking questions of people. There are people who have interview shows and podcasts. Some of them work for WWE. Some of them work for AEW. But Cultaholic is not one of those. And I have got out, you know, like I put my cards on the table. I'm a fan of theirs flat out, but I don't know any of them. I don't have any, you know, need to make this video. Besides the fact that, like, I know how hard it is to make stuff. You know, I'm starting to learn how to do this stuff again. Coming back to YouTube after like 4 or 5 years, it's a lot. And all I do is like little 5-10 minute videos, a little bit of editing. That's it. I don't really have to do much else. These guys are doing so much more than that. And like, if there's problems behind the scenes, which is happening to everybody, it's not just YouTubers, I don't think it's something that we should be reveling in, you know? There does, like, the majority of it does seem to be sort of aimed at them being some sort of AEW shills. There's definitely people who are saying that they're WWE people as well. I don't think there's any of that. I think if you asked any, and I don't know this for sure, but it seems like they're like, listen, WWE has more viewers, it has more fans, so we do more WWE content because we get more views when we do that. It's pretty fucking simple. They have probably said some negative stuff about WWE because, and I'll say it here, the booking is dross. there are associations with the current American administration that would make a lot of people fucking uncomfortable. Makes me uncomfortable, is why I don't watch it. But that's got nothing to do with why people might be losing their jobs. And even if it does, what possesses you to come online and lay the boots in when people are struggling? I think this tweet down the bottom here does sum it up. I guess meat writing for the Feb didn't work out for you, did it? Look at Jason. Look at this profile pic. And then Dr. Fate, damn, you're all not on Tony Khan's payroll anymore, sending thoughts and prayers. So, like, what is it? Do they work for WWE or AEW? If they worked for both of these companies, they wouldn't be firing anybody. They'd be the most successful YouTube channel on the face of the planet. Listen, I'm an AEW person. I love the promotion. I don't watch WWE. I have a lot of problems with WWE, and I will make some videos about that eventually. I don't know if I'm quite ready for the onslaught of fanboys on Twitter coming after me quite yet. I will do that eventually. And I'm not going to both sides this. Listen, this is an example of people going mental and really using a horrible situation wherein people are being laid off at a small company as an opportunity to air their grievances about, what is essentially a kids' TV show. Like, we all love wrestling. It's a fun throwaway thing. You know what I mean? We just need to rein it in a little bit when it comes to attacking people online. I don't know how the guys on Cultaholic, because after all this blew up, I went and watched a bunch of content. And it's still good, and they're super personable guys and fun to watch. And I don't know how they keep that up when, they probably just don't pay any attention to it. But when shit like this is happening and they're talking about, people on the internet are talking about these guys' real lives, and it's not easy to have made that decision as well. These aren't evil capitalists that are, cutting down on their workforce to be able to present a bigger profit to their shareholders at the end of the financial year. This is obviously a real decision that needed to happen for the future of the company and for everybody else who still works there. And that's a really difficult and adult decision to have to make. And then you make that, you're upfront about it and transparent about it because you don't want it getting out, because then that causes even more problems. But then this happens. So I think it's bullshit. These guys obviously love wrestling. They love what they do. If you haven't heard of Cultaholic before, go check them out. They don't need my help to get over or whatever. I was blown away by the amount of anger and vitriol that came Cultaholic's way. You know what I mean? It's like the amount, like, where the fuck is this kind of passion and venom when genuinely bad people in the industry do genuinely bad things? It doesn't exist. But when something like this happens, it's an excuse for everyone to go mental. I do not have any reasoning for it. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs. And look, if we're on X, probably 3/4 of these people are bots anyway. Yeah, if you're not, just pull your head in. You know what I mean? Like, if people are having a rough time and you don't have anything good to say, just shut up. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. More people subscribing to the channel, watching the videos, so I really appreciate that. I'm a one-man operation. I'm trying to get stuff happening as quickly as possible while I'm, doing a full-time job and being married and all that kind of stuff. The way you can support me is by liking the video and subscribing. Tell your friends about it. I just needed to come on here and talk about this because I felt like I was going crazy. And now that I've got this out, I feel a bit better. Hopefully you do too. I'll talk to you guys really soon. See ya.